Morning. Let us start with the chapter on teeth identification and numbering system. Now, we shall be covering it under introduction, triad categories, dental formulas, and various tooth numbering system will be covered under this. Now, as we all know that in order to understand the basic dental anatomy of a tooth, we need to understand first and foremost the nomenclatures and the various terms that are used for it. So the main purpose of this particular topic is to first of all to understand the terms that are used clinically to identify the teeth and also the nomenclature. So let us first understand the terms of the nomenclatures that is used here. So what is the etymology of the teeth? This is means to the origin. The terms that are given for the teeth, the origin of this name is basically from Latin. So for incisor, it is derived from insidiare, means to cut. Canine, it is derived from canis, means dog or horns. Premolar, it is basically derived because of its relation with that of the molar. Then molar is derived from molaris, that means to say milestone. Here we all know that the incisors are used for incising, whereas canines are the most prominent teeth, whereas molars are used for it has the ability to chew the food. So with this basic concept and the terms that are used, let us come to something called as tooth coding. Now whenever we are identifying a teeth and we are naming a tooth, we need to have a specific pattern in which it has to be followed. That is, it is followed in this format, that is dentition, arch, quadrant and tooth name. So whenever you are going to identify a tooth, we have to first of all identify the dentition, whether it is a primary dentition or is it a permanent dentition. Then we name the arch, that is whether it is a maxillary or mandibular arch. Then comes the quadrant, that is right or the left side, and then the tooth name. So let us take an example here. We can see that we have identified the dentition, that is deciduous, then the arch as maxillary, the quadrant as left, and the tooth as first molar. This is tooth coding. Now following this, let us understand what exactly is the triad categories. Now triad is defined as a characteristic feature. Now whenever we are trying to identify a teeth, we have to first of all understand the differences and similarities between the dentition or between the individual tooth. So let us understand what is this triad. Means every specific tooth has a different features, and also some characteristic feature it has which will be differentiated from the other. So let us see what are they. Now under set triad, that is also called as dentition triad, means we are trying to differentiate between or distinguish between the primary and the permanent dentition. So here let us take an example. Now see, you can see here the primary teeth, that is the central incisors, deciduous central incisor. We can see it is mesiodistally wider compared to cervico-incisally. So we are trying to compare between the two dentitions, whereas in this particular set triad, we cannot compare the premolars because the premolar does not exist in the primary dentition. Let's come to the arch triad. Now when we talk about arch triad, it is the distinguish between the maxillary and the mandibular arch. Now here if you see that the first maxillary molars are buccolingually wider, whereas mandible is mesiodistally wider. So we are differentiating between the arch in the arch triad. Class triad is regarding the individual tooth. Now here the function of individual tooth vary. So this distinguish between an individual tooth is the class triad. That is, if you take incisors are used basically for incising or to cut. Canines are used to tear the food. Premolars are used for grinding. and molars are used for chewing the food. Next is the type triad. Now here in the type triad, we are going to distinguish between the central incisor and the lateral incisor. Okay. Similarly, if you take an example of molars, we can distinguish between the first, second and the third molars. So in this case, the canine do not have any type triad, that is, we don't have any comparing tooth for a canine here. So canine does not have a type triad. So these are the triad categories. Next, let us come to dental formula. Now what is this dental formula? Basically, Nelson in 2002, he gave nomenclature, the denomination and the number of teeth in the form of a formula. This was given for all the mammals, and when we see humans, we have, this is the formula given for a primary teeth and a permanent teeth. In this case, they have considered the first letter of the teeth has I, like for example, for incisor it is I, for canine it is C, for molar it is M, and there is a horizontal line drawn above which we have maxilla and below which is the mandibular teeth. So these are indicating the numbers, indicating the number of teeth present. So we have incisors, 2 teeth and in the maxilla and 2 in the mandibular. So this formula which is seen here is, if you add up, it is 10. So this is of one side. So for a total number of teeth present in primary dentition, it would be, you have to double this, that would becomes 20. Similarly, we have permanent teeth where we have 2 premolars and 3 molars. Okay, so the total number of teeth here on one side is 16, whereas if you count the total number in the permanent dentition, it becomes 32 because you are doubling it, 16 into 2. So that is the dental formula. There was various formulas given for other mammals like elephant and whales also, rabbits, dogs, cats, etc. Here one such example we shall give on elephant. Elephants have deciduous molars, but they don't have premolars. So they have 3 deciduous molars and 3 permanent molars, whereas elephant's tusks are the central incisor and they weigh about 440 pounds, whereas whales don't have any teeth. So let us come to the individual tooth numbering system. The first of all is the Zsigmondy-Palmer system. Now it was Adolphe Zsigmondy in 1861 who came up with the first comprehensive system of tooth numbering of 1 to 8 on each side. Okay, so he gave it with a vertical and a horizontal line. This was the numbering system that was given only for the permanent teeth. Later, Palmer in 1870 also came up with the same numbering system. Hence, it was in 1947 the ADA came up with this name of Zsigmondy-Palmer system, since both had contributed with the same numbering system. Later, Palmer, who introduced the human primary teeth nomenclature, has A to E on either side. This system was also known as angular system or the grid system. The main advantage of this was it was easier to compute it, to record the data, but it was difficult to verbalize the system. So there was a lot of modifications following this. One such modification was given by Victor Hagerup of Denmark in 1891. He basically gave the plus and the minus system for maxilla and mandibular arch. So this system is also known as European numbering system, which is also currently used in Denmark. Here we can see that there is plus and the minus sign is present, and which is placed towards the midline. So for example, if you take +1, means it is upper left central incisor. If it is 1 and minus, then it is lower right central incisor. Similarly, if it is 0, 5 plus, means it is deciduous upper right second molar. Now what would be minus O1? Since 0 is there, it is deciduous. Minus means it is lower. 1 is the central incisor. So it is deciduous deciduous lower left central incisor. Following this, because of the constant repetitiveness in the Zsigmondy system, Julius Parade in 1882 came up with an universal system. This was endorsed by the ADA in 1968, wherein he gave a consecutive set of numbers from 1 to 32. This number started from the upper right side of the jaw to extended towards the upper left, dropped down to the lower left, and then ended in the lower right jaw. Here the first teeth that was considered was the third molar in case of permanent, starting from the upper right quadrant, following the consecutively towards the upper left and lower left to lower right. Similarly, the numbering for the primary teeth was from A to T. Later, there was Federation Dentaire International, which came up with a 2-digit system. This was basically developed by Jochen Weil of Berlin in 1970. This was accepted worldwide except for USA. In this 2-digit system, basically they gave 1 digit indicating the quadrant, whereas the other indicating the tooth number. So here if you see the numbers that was given was 1, 2, 3 and 4 for permanent teeth for the quadrant, whereas for primary it was given 5, 6, 7 and the 8th quadrant. They had considered that the most of the dentists who practiced were the right-handed followers. So it was considered that the upper right quadrant has the first quadrant, followed by the left quadrant, upper left quadrant. Then the third quadrant considered was the lower left. Then the fourth quadrant was the lower right quadrant. So you can see the numbering that is being given here for primary as well as permanent dentition. Now, what was the advantage of this particular system? Basically, it was very simple to understand and teach. It was easy to pronounce during conversations and dictations. It was readily communicable in print, easy to translate into computer outlets, easily adaptable to standard charts that are used in general practice. Let us I want you to do this small exercise so that you will get to know how much you have understood. So here we have given that there is a permanent maxillary right first premolar is being given. So if you have to write in the 3 different systems, how would you write for an FTI? It would be 1, 4 means permanent maxillary right. Maxillary right means it's the first quadrant. It's permanent tooth, so it is 1, and it is the first premolar, it is the 4th teeth, so it is 1, 4. Similarly, if you have to consider the universal system basically gives it as a consecutive number starting from the 3rd molar. So the first premolar is the 5th tooth from the last tooth in the right quadrant, upper right quadrant. So it is numbered as 5 according to universal system. If it is a Zsigmondy, then you have the vertical and the horizontal line indicating the quadrant, that is the maxillary right, and 4 is the tooth number. This is one exercise. This is another exercise where they have given you the number and you have to identify the teeth. Now 7, 3 is being given. Now as we all know that according to FDI, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the quadrant that is numbered. So if you consider that 7 is the mandibular left quadrant, that is the third quadrant. So 3 is the third teeth, that is the canine. So it is deciduous mandibular left canine. Similarly, M. What is M in the universal system? It is the alphabet. So means to say it is deciduous. So it is deciduous mandibular left canine. In the case of Zsigmondy, you can see that is the quadrant indicate the lines, that is horizontal vertical line indicating the quadrant. So the teeth is E, means it is deciduous, and E is the second molar. So it is on the maxillary right. So it is deciduous maxillary right second molar. If you see, whenever we are identifying the teeth, we are following a specific pattern. We are not deviating from the pattern. I told you this is called as tooth coding. You have to identify the dentition, you have to identify the arch, you have to identify the quadrant and the teeth number. So this is how an identification and nomenclature and the system that is followed in dentistry. Thank you so much.